to see if anybody comes on live. But time, hope you had a great Thanksgiving, a great weekend. What's today? It was Cyber Monday yesterday. It's Cyber Week now. They're calling it. Expanding the sales, throughout probably every week will be Cyber now until Christmas. Yeah. So hope you scored some good sales and good things for you and for your people for the holidays, for Christmas. I wanted to talk today about turning that never into now. We can put things off because of, we may call it procrastination, but in reality, it's unbelief combined with fear. Yeah, kind of a powerful combo. But we can decide to change that up and start walking down the path which God has set before us, the path He has for you. He says you are unique, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He has known you since before you were in your mother's womb. Now wrap your head around that one. And true, His word says so. So He has a path, and it's not always an easy path to follow. And if this is the path that you're looking at as the one for you, and you feel like very strongly that you're being pulled towards it. Oh, same to you, Kay Calk. Nice to see you here. Yeah, glad you're here with me. Sorry I have to do this when I look at comments, but it's I have the phone kind of about away from me. Otherwise, my face will be like this big in the phone. It's inevitable as we start to go down the path, we start to investigate, and we're like, oh yeah, I really think this is the career for me, whatever that career is. And then we start to come up against some barriers. And that's when we take a step back. When, in order to move forward, we have to move forward, and we have to be brave, is we have to believe that He has our best interest at heart. And He has a purpose for us that sometimes is greater than we could have ever imagined, and that the twists and turns that our path takes, while we may feel it's scary, He has a purpose to it that will impact other people that we would never have believed. Same thing happened to Jonah in the book of Jonah 1 and Jonah first chapter 1 verse 1 and 2. And God spoke to Jonah and said, I want you to go to this city called Nineveh. Nineveh was a very, very dangerous place, and it was very highly populated. And He wanted him to go preach down there. So the path that He has laid before you, is it putting what people will say the fear of God in you? Is it putting such a fear in you to go forward? Or are you stalled because you're not sure which way to go within the career? And a lot of things we can use as, oh, it's too hard, or it's too difficult to figure out. But if you take it one step at a time, He'll show you. Trust in Him, give it to Him, and say, okay, Lord, I trust You that You're going to show me whether this career is for me or not. It may take you going into it. Does that mean you have to go into debt? No, you do not need to go into debt. Go to school to go in this career. You don't. But if you are bent on that, I would say avoid debt if you can, because that means you've got to pay that off later. And so be very careful with debt. And so how will you follow your path? Will you listen to what He has for you, or are you going to run scared for the rest of your life? And for me, that was the way I operated. I ran scared all the time. I would avoid it. People would pick up the slack for me and my family. My mother and father would. They would just not require a lot of me. And I never had, and I'm not putting the blame on them. These are things that I had to learn, was to overcome my own fears. And I had to know, and I didn't know this, that God had loved me and had a purpose for me. Had no idea that he did, yet his word says it, but I didn't know where to find that. And so let me talk about a promise that Jesus said, okay? And he said this in John 14:23, and you can look this up. If anyone loves me, he will keep my word. It's going to stand by your side while you're traveling towards your path and while you're going through it, and in any hardships. So in Deuteronomy, this is Old Testament 5:32, be careful to do as the Lord your God commanded you. You are not to turn aside to the right or to the left. That means stay on the straight and narrow path that he has set before you. So the question today is this: is God calling you to a specific path? Do you feel that pull to go down this path? And instead of writing out or playing over in your mind the negatives, the no's, the what ifs, the chaos that can reign in the brain when you are not moving forward, but you're stalled, like the car has stalled out and you're not reaching for the key to turn it on again. You just stalled. Will you stop listing the no's and the objections, and will you begin to list out the opportunities and the good things that could happen, the positives, the good things that you may find? You know, while you're going down the path, and I talk about the barriers or the boulders that you'll come across, and you've got to figure out what to do about it, that in between those boulders are what? Good things. Good things that are happening to you, that he has planned out for you. So my question today for you is, will you trust him to do that for you, to teach you through the hardships and through the valleys and through blasting through the barriers as he helps you move the boulder? Will you believe that he'll be by your side? Well, first you have to trust him, and you have to say, yes, Lord, I'll believe that. And you have to give your heart to him, to the Lord Jesus, and say, Jesus, I believe what you did for me on the cross. In John 3:16, it says, for whosoever believeth on the Lord Jesus Christ shall not perish. Well, it says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whosoever believeth will not perish, meaning you will not die in eternal damnation, but you will live forever with him. And so, will you believe that today? If so, and you believe that, then you confess that with your mouth and say to him, Lord, I believe that you died for me, that you gave your life for me on the cross. That's the beginning of your new life with him. And start moving forward now, that if he has laid this career on you, and you are like, yeah, it just keeps coming back to me, like I need to move into this, then do it. Then do it. Don't give up. And he has a specific plan and purpose for you, just like Jonah. And once Jonah gave into that and believed that God would be by his side the whole way, the whole town of Nineveh came to know the Lord. They turned their lives around and stopped acting in an immoral and filling their lives with debauchery and evil and darkness, and turn their lives around and set their sights on God instead of the things that were evil. So that is it for today. I want you to remember that who has your back really, and to start moving forward and believe. All right? So have a great one, and I'll talk to you tomorrow in the next live. In the meantime, sorry, I'm talking a lot. It's making me cough. Don't forget that if you're looking at this video and you're just investigating what this career is about, binge watch a lot of the videos here on YouTube. And then first step is what I always say is the book Legal Break-In. And you can find the link in the previous video in the description box. And then also the class, get on the wait list for my class, Registration is in January. I only launch it 2 to 3 times a year. And we're coming up on January again, so get ready for that. Get on the wait list so that you don't miss this class, all right? So that's about it. Check out the links in the description box in the previous video, and that's it. Have a great Tuesday, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.